Hello. It's time for a fit check. So today we have on Gymshark on the top and on the bottom. We have on some regular white socks and some Vans. Okay, something simple, something cute. We got my Sony headphones because these are the best. And that's it. And that's all. So as of late, I have been getting more into my cardio, making sure that I am getting my heart rate up. I decided to pick up the Stairmaster instead of the treadmill. The treadmill is dreadful to me. The Stairmaster can be very challenging, but I prefer this challenge over the treadmill. I don't know why, that's just how I feel, that's just my preference. I typically try to go for 100 floors, and I be trying to beat my time every time, you know? I think the fastest that I've done it is like 20 minutes or maybe 19 minutes and some change. But yeah, so that's all for my cardio as of right now. Sometimes I'll run, but you know, that's not every, that's not super often. So it's some protein cupcakes in here somewhere. Where they at though? Maybe they're in here. Nope. Where are they? Oh, there they are. I got legs today, and after doing that Stairmaster, I don't got no type of energy or nothing, so I'm gonna eat this protein cupcake and hope for the best. Get the cover off. This is dangerous. All right, get this band so we can get our warm-up done and start this leg day. Really low-key procrastinated a little bit because bit tight. Okay, so but I'm gonna get it done. You know how I do. Even if we only get to do 4 or 5 exercises today, we're gonna do it. You know? We're gonna make it do what it do. It'd be so obvious when I'm not in the mood. Today is one of those days. But I gotta do what I gotta do to keep the shape that I want, you know? One thing that I've learned on this fitness journey is not to just jump right into lifting weights. I always make sure that I warm up properly. I get my dynamic stretches in, and then I start an actual warm up, and that's going to be just like 2 sets of 2 or 3 exercises just to get my muscles going. And then from there,
one thing
that's when we start our
I always
lift.
think it's crazy. I constantly get told that I'm dangerous. I don't understand. I'm not dangerous. I'm a sweet little angel. His hips are so tight. My God. The bench truck. You gotta open these hips up way. So tight.
All right, so really quickly, just to kind of let you know what I'm doing here, I like to do these hip openers, and I do these on every leg day because that's just how I do. There's other things that you can do, but this is what I do. This is my preference. Next up, we are gonna grab the band. This is the heaviest band that I have. Shout out to Heather Holly because she's the one who these bands are from, and I always use them in my routine. So I get down, I typically do 10 crab walks to one side. I'm gonna do 10 to 20 pulsing squats. Then I'm gonna do 10 crab walks back down, 10 to 20 more pulsing squats, and that is a part of my active warm up. And then we go right into the next stage of my active warm up, which are actually gonna be monster walks. So for monster walk, same thing, we're gonna keep the band on, and then we're gonna move slightly diagonally, going forward 10 paces, and then once we complete that 10, then we're gonna go backward at that same diagonal movement, again 10 in the rear direction. All right, last but not least, the last part of my warm-up, we got the donkey kicks and the hydrants. I usually do a donkey kick and a hydrant. That is 1 rep. We go 10 reps on each side because what you do on one side, you're gonna have to do to the other side. Okay. So once I complete this, that will be 1 complete round of the warm-up. We do 2 rounds of the warm-up, and then we get into our leg day. So always make sure you stretch properly, you do your warm-up. Now my muscles are good and ready to get right into this quad and hamstring day. I know those are kind of glute workouts, but really we warming up our legs all together. So, you know, that's what we do, or that's what I do. So you can either take this as a good advice or, you know, just enjoy the vlog. That's up to you. All right, let's get into the rest of this workout. Let's talk about my killer quad triset. So we're gonna start here with elevated goblet squats. I usually go heavy, and I typically don't go past parallel on these because I wanna make sure I keep all the tension in my quads. I'm not really trying to go for glutes here. This is all quads. I usually go 10 reps, and then we're gonna go right into the next exercise. We're gonna throw that weight right there on the ground, and then we're gonna do body weight. So for body weight, we're just gonna do 15. You're gonna, like I said, you're gonna go right into it. So go ahead and go for that 15 right after you throw that other weight on the ground because that is heavy, right? Then for the next step of the triset, we're gonna go right into walking lunges. Now, because you just did these 2 right back to back, you actually don't need any weights for the walking lunges. I want you to go 10 reps down, 10 reps back. You're gonna go short steps because those are gonna be more quad focused. And trust me, you are going to feel the burn. Once you're on that way back, honey, them legs is gonna be like, what are we doing? But I promise you, this is a staple in my quad day. This triset is always gonna be. All right, see, and that's all.
So we're gonna do my body weight and leg extensions real quick. I just did 120. This one's 130. I weighed myself this morning. I'm 132 pounds. So let's see how strong these quads are. Okay. Okay, 9 is solid. I'll take it. I got a couple other things to do before I get out of here. I got like 15 minutes.
Okay, let's not neglect our hamstrings. So first and foremost for hamstrings, we're gonna hit these RDLs. I like to use the hammer strength on these just because it gives you, it starts at 45 pounds, so start with that. And then you can add more weight to it as you go. I think I added about 35 pounds to each side. So we got a little, you know, we're working with a little something, but I like the fact that it's stable versus a barbell. You have to, you know, use your own balance and stuff like that. So that's why I like the hammer strength. And then of course, you know, I had to end it with everyone's favorite, the hamstring curls. I like to do the lying hamstring curls. For a while I couldn't do it because it would make me dizzy or something, but lately it's been working, so we're gonna use these. And typically I try to increase every time I'm on there, so you know we got to progressive overload those too, so we can grow those hamstrings. You don't want to have big quads and no hamstrings, you know, we got to make all of it match. So that's it for this workout. I hope you enjoyed this vlog. I had to do a voiceover because honey, I had the mic on and wasn't even talking. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed it, and come back for the next one. Bye.
Goodbye.